This video is to show you how to create a graph in Google Sheets and also how to import it into Google Docs. So the first thing you want to do to create a graph is to input your data from your lab. In the A column, you want to input whatever sort of data you want to put on your x-axis. So for this particular lab, we put acceleration on the x-axis. And in the B column, you want to put whatever information you want to graph on your y-axis. So for this particular lab, we put in weight. So when you're inputting your data, please make sure that you're only putting in the numbers underneath the headings. If you put in the units as well as the numbers, it's going to mess up the computer and it's not going to quite know what to do. So once we have all of our data inputted, we're going to select our data and then go to Insert Chart. We want to select a scatter plot for this particular set of data. So it looks like this, but we need to change some things. We need to change the title. We also need to label the axes. So we're going to go to Customization. And the first thing that comes up is the title. So we can change the title to title of graph, whatever you want to title it. And also we only have one set of data points, so we're going to get rid of the legend by clicking here and saying none. It just kind of cleans up the space a little bit. Next, we're going to label the axes. So scroll down until you see the word axis, and you'll see horizontal selected first. We need to tell our reader what is being measured on the horizontal. So for this particular lab, we had acceleration, and you want to make sure you put in the unit as well. To get to the vertical axis, we need to click on this menu and go down to left vertical. And it's not acceleration for this lab, instead it's weight. Again, we put in the unit and we hit enter and it should update there. So we just check, everything looks good. The last thing we're going to do with a scatter plot is we're always going to put in a trend line. So you want to go down to the very bottom where it says trend line and you want to select linear. Excellent. Once you have that all done, everything is labeled appropriately, you can insert it into your Google Sheet. One thing you'll want with your trend line that unfortunately Google Sheets does not do is you want to have the equation for your line somewhere on your graph. So to find the equation for your trend line, what you actually need to do is go into View mode, which is clicking on the eyeball, and then you just put your cursor over the line and it'll pop up with the equation. You will want to write this down somewhere into your lab notebook because you'll be using that information later. So you have your trend line, you've written down your equation, now it comes time to import it into a Google Doc. So in order to do that, you want to click on this little arrow. If you don't have an arrow, you can right-click on any white space of the graph to get the same menu. So you click on the arrow and you go to Publish Chart. You want to have a link of an image of the graph. You don't want to do the interactive because you don't want to be able to change it. You don't want your reader to be able to change it. So we want title of graph, image. And you hit publish. Yes, I do want to publish this selection. Now it's going to come up with this really long link, and so you can just press Command-C to copy it. Then you can go over to your Google Doc, which you should have open. We're going to make a new blank document. And we go to Insert Image. Instead of uploading or taking a snapshot, we're actually going to insert via URL, so by URL, and then we're going to go Command-V to paste our image in there. And it should pop up right there. Everything looks great. I go to Select, and there it is. So that's how you make a graph in Google Sheets and import it into Google Doc.